Let's see how easy it is now to enrich our demo app, Biking in Oregon, by adding a Google map that's populated with runtime data from a web service. Let's see how we do that. Let's first extend the second branch of our tree, help me find a local bike store, by adding a new question. So we call it the wizard. Let's add a new question. Please provide a search query. What will happen here is the user at runtime will provide a search query. We'll pass that query through, hook it up to the web service as an input. The web service will return results, one or more stores, bike stores for example in this case, and we'll display those on a Google map. So here's the web service. It's called Web Service Find Local Bikes. We just built this a few minutes before, and we'll show you later on how we did that. It was very quick and easy to do that. Now we're hooking up the queries. The query we got from the user, we're passing through to the web service. We just did that. And then we get back results from the web service. Let's just give those a label. We're going to plot these results again on a Google map. We could, instead or in addition, build our own final display of these results, but since we're using a Google map, it's really redundant to have a separate display, and we'll just put a little label in here and move on. So results of search is fine. Here's the data we are getting back. You can see it now from the web service at runtime. There it is, and that's what we use to plot our Google map in a minute. So now let's exit the wizard. Now let's add a Google map. You can add one or more Google Maps to each result node in a cart, and of course you can have lots of result nodes too, so maps are quite useful and valuable. We'll add a marker here to our map. It's a smart marker. See it up on top here. We'll give a label to it, and here we'll take it from the web service results. So if we have more than one store, as we expect, each one will get its own label from the title returned by the web service. Latitude and longitude, same thing. Let's get the latitude and longitude data from the web service and hook that into this Google Map dialog. There we go. So it'll plot each item that we return from the web service with latitude and longitude. Now let's build marker content. This is the expanded display of the push pin. When you click at runtime on a push pin on the Google Map, you get an expanded display of details. Let's build what we want in that display. So let's say we want title, address, phone, and URL. And we'll just pick the, I'm just going to pluck the data out of the web service description. There we go. Let's have address and also city here. And again, at runtime, if we get multiple stores as we expect, we'll be smart about that and automatically populate the marker with the data for each store. So each marker gets its own data. For the URL, we want it to be a live URL, a clickable link. So we'll add this as a link, not just as a piece of text, and we'll pick out the right piece of data, the URL from returned from the web service, and put that in there. And that's it. So let's save our work, and we can now run this and see how it looks at runtime. To do that, just click the green arrow next to it, which lets us quickly run test sessions of our application we just built. Choose a second branch, help me find a local bike store. And here we go. Let's put our search in. So let's say bikes in Corrales, Oregon. And let's run that. This will pass this query through to the web service. It'll return data, which will then plot on the Google map. And there we go. Let's get a little closer here. Corrales is one of the most bike crazy towns in the country, and lots of bike shops here. Let's pick one, Corrales Cyclery, and you see we have the data, the detail, live URL. It's all there. So how did we hook up to that web service? Let's see what it takes to do that. It takes less than 2 minutes to do that. Here we're going to copy a URL that the web service provides to get data back from it, a sample URL. So most web services provide these days. We'll invoke another Jnana tool called Create a Web Service Application, give it a name, and we're just going to paste in that URL that the web service provided as a working sample URL, and Jnana will do the work from there. So let's paste this in here. Here we go. And Jnana will then parse this to figure out its component parts, its inputs. We'll pick the input we're going to vary. In this case, it'll be the query. We want to vary that. So it'll be a variable, not a constant. Let's send this off to the web service now in a live search. It comes back with data, which we then parse schematically and show you what the components are. And now we can click on each one of the pieces of return data we care about we want to work with in our application. So we certainly want to take the title and the URL and the business and the phone number and the address and the city. We want to get also the latitude and longitude, make sure we don't forget those. So here we go. And once we've done that, picked up the data we want, we can click next and save, and we're done. We've now hooked up to the web service. That's all it takes. Every day it seems there's a new web service being published, making valuable data freely available to developers and the public for use in whatever they like. We've seen now with Jnana how easy it is for anyone, not just developers, to take that data, consume it, do things with it, including plot it on Google Maps. It's a new world.